Hello everyone, it's Nate, also known as Big MC Nate, back again with another YouTube video. Today, and probably for the rest of the weekend, you get to join me, The Ride of a Lifetime, Quasi Motard, and Life of Birch in the annual 2024 Life of Birch subscriber meetup. I'm super excited. I'm going to be meeting up with Jeremiah from The Ride of a Lifetime and his friend Jesse in the town next door to ride out to Annapolis. So it's about 11:40 now, and I'm just finishing up my packing. It's going to be a rainy weekend, so I've already got my rain gear sorted. I've got my Harley Davidson branded travel bag ready. It straps onto the back of the bike. I'll go over my pack out here in a bit. So yeah, join me on what's surely to be an adventure, and the camera's not going to be capturing everything, but what is YouTube appropriate will certainly be going on YouTube. So join me in the fun we're about to have this weekend, albeit a little moist, and I'll see you then.
I don't have it in here yet, but I will be bringing my Nintendo Switch. It sounds like somebody's bringing their Switch and a bunch of extra controllers to have some shenanigans on Mario Kart, I think, or Super Smash Brothers. I don't know what. But we've got thermal underwear, wool socks, regular undies. You don't got to see all that. The Nintendo Switch will go on top. This compartment on top here unzips and it's accessible from the top of the bag as well. And in here, I'll put my shoes, toiletries, all that good stuff. And then over here, the most important part is the waterproof cover that goes over this to make sure that it's not going to get riggedy wrecked in the rain this weekend. So I'm going to plug the GoPro back into charge, and the next time you'll see me is on the bike heading to go meet Jeremiah.
Hello everyone, this is Nate, also known as Big MC Nate, back again for another video. The audio appears to be clipping, so I hope I can salvage something out of it. We'll find out. Today is Saturday, or no, wow, wrong day. Today is Friday, May 3rd, 2024, and I am beginning the first part of my journey to the 2024 Life of Birch subscriber meetup ride thing. It rains in the forecast, so probably not a whole lot of ride, probably more meetup. I'm here on Captain Jack the Road King, and I'm just moseying my way out of town. And we're getting ready to go. Just a random pedestrian decides to run behind me. That was odd. So I'm just moseying my way out of town, getting ready to go. I'm meeting Jeremiah and his friend Jesse. Jeremiah, as you may or may not know, is from the Adventure or the Ride of a Lifetime, the Ride of a Lifetime channel, where he details his musings, ramblings, experiences of riding a Honda Rebel 1100. So I'm excited to get to meet him in person. Hoping the audio is not too broken up. It might be kind of clippy. I switch phones. I normally use a Galaxy S21 FE in the off season, and then in the on season for riding, I use a Galaxy Note 20. That way, in the event something happens to the device, it falls off of my bike, it gets drenched, something crazy like that happens. An act of God, if you would. It's no big deal. The device is worth maybe $70 if you traded it in for something new, so it's more cost effective just to use this on the handlebars versus putting the nice phone up here. So join me as I ride to my first stop. Jeremiah and Jesse aren't due in for a while yet. It's 1:19. They're not due till about 2:30. So I'm going to head on into close to where we're supposed to meet. And I'm probably going to grab some lunch, something just real quick, because I'm not interested in, one, being late, and two, I don't want really anything too heavy. I didn't have breakfast this morning. I had a long to-do list to get done before I was allowed to even leave. Every weekend is my partner and I share responsibilities. So my partner does laundry typically, And then I usually do like a kitchen reset, vacuum, take care of the apartment, stuff like that. We both take care of the bathroom though, because, ooh man, we both pollute that pretty equally. So I don't want to start any controversy. Mom, if you're watching, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm wearing a vest. It's going to be hot. I mean, riding a Harley, or at least this one, and anything above 75 degrees usually makes it hot as balls. Because old twin cams like this one are air cooled. This is not oil cooled. This doesn't have coolant. This is just air cooled. Air passes over the jugs and subsequently cools the motor. That's why it's especially important to have a proper level of oil in a twin cam. As not enough oil, not only do you lack lubrication, but you lack the ability for the motor to keep itself cool. So I got a windshield extension on the bike. I'll insert a photo of that if I have one. Actually, I should have one as of today. But I got a windshield extension on the bike, so now my head is completely out of the buffeting zone, but subsequently it means I'm looking through plexiglass or whatever this plastic is. I don't know what it is. I imagine it's sheet plexi. Which it's supposed to rain on Sunday and tomorrow for the meetup. Tomorrow not as bad, but Sunday it's supposed to be raining cats and dogs on the way back. So we'll see how well it holds up then. But it has been great to have this, even though it gets covered in road schmoo and bugs and whatnot. It's still better than nothing. And my head used to be right in the buffeting zone. I do want to get a different seat for this bike. I do want to get a different seat for this bike, which would set me down a little bit lower. So I want a slightly lower and wider seat, just to cover the gluteus maximus. And we're stopping at the stoplight. Oh, bumpy, bumpy, bumpy. I do want, man, if I can get the word out, I do want a larger, wider seat. Preferably, it sits me down lower so I can get more of my head out of the buffeting. I like how they stretch the frames on the newer 2017 and up Road Kings. My uncle has it's either a 2021 or 2022 Road King. I can't remember which model year, but he's got 14-inch risers. They're called mini apes, or at least that's what he's called them. So they're not the crazy giant apes where your hands are above your shoulders, but these, for him and I, our hands are actually at the same height as our shoulders. It's shockingly comfortable. I haven't rode his bike at all. He's very much leave my bike alone. It's my toy, and I don't blame him. I respect it. I'm umming a lot. I got to stop doing that. So I haven't rode his bike. I do have the old bars from his Road King before he had the mini apes put on. So I intend to have this put on to this bike. I do have. There's a firm brake line for the front brake, so I can't just swap. I don't think I can, at least. The shop seems to think I can just do a direct swap of bars, but I don't think I can. But if I can, that'd be great. In order to get down to these bars, it's a pain in the butt because you have to take the whole headlight bucket off, and I have a photo of me adjusting the bars. I have to see if I can find them. I should have them somewhere. But you have to take the headlight out. You've got to take the headlight bucket all apart. There's a trim piece on the top of the headlight you have to take off. I mean, Harley, they know how to make it a pain in the butt to work on their bikes, which is why they charge an arm and a leg to work on them. Or at least the shop rates around me are about 110 an hour, which, as far as bikes go, my understanding is that's not actually that hateful. I don't have any experience. Well, that Harley dealer is 110 an hour for Harley, but they also sell a number of other bikes brands in there as well, and I believe all of the different brands carry their own hourly rates. Although, don't quote me on it. I might be entirely wrong. I can already see people on their cell phones. It's, I wouldn't say a gorgeous day. It is overcast. I did put sunscreen on, which I'm glad I did, because I normally, last year, whoopsies, left coming loose. Last year, a couple times I wore this vest out and didn't put sunscreen on. I don't tan, I burn. And man, when I tell you I was burnt, I was like burnt, burnt. It was bad. Kind of hurt, actually. Thankfully not sun poisoning, because been there, done that, not fun. But this year I'm a bit more intelligent about it. I also said I wouldn't wear this vest as much as I have. But I've reached a point where bike just cut out there for a second. It's been doing that. As it's been getting warmer, this bike's been liking to cut out, especially when I'm rolling on and off the throttle, like on and off constantly through traffic. Not entirely sure what that means. Oh. Oh, that's not good. My fuel gauge just came loose. Well, that's bad. It says do not twist, and I haven't twisted it. I wonder if I've just knocked it about enough while I've been cleaning the bike. I don't know. Can I twist it back? And I can't. I really hope water doesn't get in there, because that would ruin a weekend real fast. Interesting. All right, I got to keep an eye on that, because I haven't twisted that off. I wonder if somebody's been mucking with the bike while it's been sitting. That would not be so great. Back on there now. It's weird. It's crooked, though. I don't know. Very odd. I did end up replacing... There's a quick disconnect. I don't know if I ever highlighted this. I don't think I did in the introduction video. But I ended up needing to replace the quick disconnect line that comes out of the left-hand side of the tank that runs down to the fuel injector rail. And it failed in a very interesting way. When the line was connected, fuel would not flow, but when the line was disconnected, fuel would flow. There was a little plastic cutoff, I think is the best way I can word it, that fell out of the line, and the line failed. So it just allowed fuel to leak everywhere, which that was a fun discovery when I was working on the bike. This was about the same time it had a really gnarly misfire last year. I mean, this was definitely it's Schrodinger's bike. It's what it's still turning into. It's both broken and not broken. Just depends on the day. Oh, I waved to the BMW and he didn't wave back. I've noticed that. Sometimes I get waves from other bike brands. Sometimes I don't. Seems to depend on the day. A lot of times, Harley's kind of built itself as the community. There's a three-wheeler I just gave the thumbs up to. But Harley's kind of built itself as the community to say that if you're not on a Harley, you're not on a real bike. And for those of us who don't care what you ride, as long as your knees are in the breeze and you're having a good time, it has sort of given us a bad name. Like, I mean, if I had to find a bike I didn't like or a brand I didn't like, I don't know. They all have their problems. I don't think there's any one or two brands that I don't like. I like all brands. I like all flavors. You know, I love anything from the Honda Super Cub to some of the crazy BMW off-road bikes. They're all in the same to me. You've got two wheels, your knees are in the breeze, and you get the opportunity, hopefully you do, like what I have here, where I get to meet up with a bunch of like-minded people who all enjoy riding bikes. And there's something I saw on Facebook as I was scrolling through one of the motorcycle groups I'm in, is grown men, their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, all sound like their 5-year-old selves. When at 70, years old, somebody calls up their friend and goes, "Hey, friend, do you want to go ride bikes?" And it's just something that I don't know how many other communities are like that. I ended up riding about 86 miles yesterday to go on a date with the +1, so that was fun. I don't enjoy riding in Loudoun County. That much I do know. I'm about a stone's throw away from Loudoun County proper. Enjoyed some dinner over in the Reston Town Center, and nobody, it feels like in Loudoun, is paying attention for bikes. Because there's a couple times there's people that just want to close in on top of me. I ummed again. There's people who want to close in on top of me. There's people who don't pay attention. Although what I've noticed in newer cars now, and I like this. I don't like all the electronic driving nannies. I don't like lane keep. I don't like lane assist. I don't like overly bearing or overbearing. There we go. Overbearing. I don't like overbearing traction control or ABS. They're all driving aids that actually take away your ability to operate the vehicle as it was meant to be operated. Because I'm sorry, but the minute those systems are unavailable, if the car doesn't deactivate itself, you're going to have to learn how to drive as if you were driving 30, 40, 50 years ago. That's one thing I like about this bike. It lacks technology. Really just less stuff to go wrong in the grand scheme of things, which is good in my book. Less crap to break is good. A lot of what causes these misfires, too, if it's not something like a fuel injector wire that's broken, oh man, I walked out and forgot stuff that I need. Shoot. Well, thankfully I can swing by a bank because that's what I forgot. I forgot to grab cash. Slight moto. Oh my god, I could totally play this off and say that I didn't forget cash for you. But, oopsie foxy, to quote my uncle, I totally walked out and forgot your cash, sir. Crap. Alright, I'm gonna have to... Okay, now I gotta stop by a bank, which means I need to go in town. Oops. Alright, stop to the bank is in order now. I'll add that on the list of crap to do. It sounds like our Canadian friends, Nick from Slight Moto, a couple of his buddies are all coming down. Oh, crap, where was I at? All right, different topic. Oh, yeah, traffic, Loudoun County, not great. Everyone bumper munching, trying to run you off the road, crazy, dangerous crapola, not a fan. Not do not pass go, do not collect $200, not okay. Although, it's interesting, right? I don't know if it's just me and I'm lucky, or if the Road King has a large enough presence on the road, but I've had a couple of people, like, start to pull out in front of me and then stop. I don't know what it is about the Road King specifically, but it doesn't seem like I have been given that hard of a time by other people on the road. It always seems that people see me either at the last second or in general, and then they stop in time. I am thankful for that. My buddy Chris had my buddy Chris, who I sold my PCX to, he takes his PCX in and around town to go to work and stuff, and then he takes his Vulcan 750 out for group rides when he and I go riding. Great plan. I kind of want to do the same. I want to find a maxi scooter like a Silverwing, but man, they hold their value well. So he was heading to work or heading home from work. I don't remember what he said entirely, but the poor guy had a Jeep pull out in front of him, and this is his story to tell, so I'll paraphrase it. But long and the short, he grabbed too much rear brake and ended up dumping the bike at 30 miles an hour. He slid, but thankfully he was wearing full gear. Do as I say, not as I do. And he scratched the plastics up pretty good on the left-hand side. Thankfully, he's okay. I think on the grand scheme of things, he's okay. Plastics can be repaired and replaced in this case. He's already ordered color-matching plastics for under $200. So he got very lucky indeed. I was joking with him. It's like, well, of all the times to wreck, you didn't wreck on the 250-mile day that we had the day before. No, you wreck on the day where you had to drive a half an hour back and forth to work. I mean, just the irony is so thick on that one. Oh, there's school buses out already at 1:40 on a Friday? Well, maybe for the elementary schoolers. But man, I remember being in school till almost 3:30. Funny, all these new like education theories and whatnot have came out since I graduated. It's like when I graduated, I was the one goofy nerdy kid using a computer because my handwriting was atrocious, so we figured out how to make it work with the teachers. And now every student's being assigned a Chromebook. Really? And how times change, which I mean good. I'm just wondering what they're doing to combat cheating. I know there's like AI things that you can use to prevent cheating, but I also have heard them unintentionally or accidentally flag things that were not cheating, were actually legitimate. So I do hope if they're being used like trust but verify, and they're being used with caution. Although I don't know anybody in school nowadays. College, yes, and it seems to be a mixed handbag, but secondary and primary education, I or primary and secondary education. I don't know if those teachers are actually checking or if they even care. There's been a lot of stuff in the news about teachers walking out or teachers getting upset because they can't, for lack of a better explanation, parents are sending their kids to school and then kids are acting a fool, and there's very little, if anything, teachers can do, which is a shame. I remember my 7th grade math teacher knew my grandparents through church. The French teacher in my school knew my grandparents through church. I want to say there was another teacher. Oh, a friend of mine was friends with my cousin who taught at the neighboring high school. So, like, anything that happened or anything that I might have gotten into probably made its way back to my grandparents before it even found its way to the principal's office, which is kind of funny. There's a dirt bike here. He didn't wave. Looks like a old Honda. Where are y'all turning in? Are y'all turning in there? Y'all are turning in there. I'm going to turn in here. Yeah, all the old Harleys and all the old Hondas kind of look the same to me. It's not until recently everyone's really started to figure out their styling cues and their brand and all that happy crap. But anywho, I'm at the bank, so I'm going to stop here. I do want to enjoy some music as I'm heading into town. So I'm going to leave you here. Thank you all for watching so far, and I'm certain we'll reconnect at some point in the weekend. So until then, take care.